Welcome to Epically Universal. I'm your host, Keegan Lanier. This is the podcast that I've wanted to do for so long, and you can see it in the name. There's a whole reason that we're doing this, and there's something that I'm amped about, and I know you are too if you're listening to this, and that is Epic Universe coming to Universal Orlando Resort in 2025. I've been watching this thing religiously for years, bioreconstruct over on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It's been some incredible, way exciting times. And this is the first time that I've gotten to really, truly watch Universal, or really any big parks in Orlando, do beginning to end development of a park. And watching some of the things that have happened overseas with, Universal Beijing, and seeing the level of detail that they've gone to in those parks has me even more excited about Epic because, truth be told, I know it started in Hollywood, started in California, but Universal Orlando Resort is without a doubt the premier property of Universal destinations, parks, all of that. And so Epic Universe is going to be, for lack of a better term, epic. I think it's going to be a badass park that's going to be a game changer, truthfully, in the whole industry and specifically in Orlando. This is way bigger than I ever thought it was going to be, way crazier than I ever thought it was going to be. And the lands, you always hear the speculations early on, and I wasn't sure if those lands were going to live up to the hype or if they were ever going to be what the speculations were. But here we are, and pretty much all the speculations that have been out there for over a year, maybe 2 years at this point, they're all coming to reality and they're getting announced. And so really what this podcast is going to be is 100% excitement for everything that is Universal Parks and Destinations, everything with Epic, new attractions coming to Hollywood, everything that exists internationally in regards to Universal Parks and Destinations. So I'm amped about it. I'm really excited to do this. I'm really excited to get into something that I love, something that I have such a huge passion for, which is theme parks in general. But Universal has and will always be home to me. Although some of the first parks I ever went to when I was a kid were Six Flags Astroworld, Six Flags New Orleans, the park that made me a fanatic about theming, about experiences, about thrill rides was Universal's Islands of Adventure. The very first time I went there in 2000, in the summer of 2000, and I walked through the port of entry and I saw the detail there. My life was changed. My whole perception of what a theme park could be changed. And then I walked farther into the port of entry and saw the Incredible Hulk shoot off for the very first time and hit that barrel roll into the Cobra roll, into the inversion, underneath the walkway. And it exploded everything I had in my head. It just blew away all expectations and all really preconceived ideas of what a theme park could be. Then I did the River Adventure and Dueling Dragons and all the things that were there in 2000, and it was never the same. I was never the same. And so this podcast is going to be really my commentary on everything that's happening in the world of Universal, and hopefully much more beyond that. I want to engage with you. I want to get to meet some new people who love the industry. Like most communities, especially those online, there's some good and there's some bad. And people in this community are passionate. They love theme parks. They love their rides. They love nostalgia. And I'm right there in that. But one thing I do ask is that if you are here, if you are engaging, if you are in this community, be respectful of the people around you. It's okay to like different things. It's perfectly fine. In fact, that's what makes this thing so awesome, is that some people like rides that other people don't like. Other people don't like stuff that other people like. And that's just life, right? So if we're going to be here, I want to build a community of awesome people who love theme parks and who are kind people to those around you. And that's really all this is. This is my intro to the podcast. Universally Epic is... Did I just say that wrong? Yeah, that's the other thing about this podcast is that I'm not going to edit anything. Not gonna tweak. Not going to cut out the ums and the ahs and any of that stuff. I'm just going to get on here, riff, talk about it, share my thoughts. There's no script. There's no anything really. It's hit the record button, get the red light on, and let's go. So again, Epically Universal is really going to be about that, creating fun times and great communities and great conversations around some of those universal parks and destinations, and being able to share some of the news. So hopefully this becomes a place that you really enjoy, a place that you trust for at least good news, updates, and hopefully you're aligned with those opinions. I can tell you that my very favorite ride that's out there right now, my number one roller coaster, my number one attraction is, you can see it right over this shoulder. It's the Velocicoaster. Islands of Adventure is one of my favorite parks. And what we're going to do here with this podcast is be releasing an episode every single week. There's always news. There's always something to talk about. And it may not be news, but it may be tips for the parks. It may be changes that are coming to the parks, construction, new attractions that are open. There's so much that's changing at Universal right now between Hollywood and Orlando. We're going to be here to talk about it and share opinions and really more so communicate, talk, and go back and forth. So these are, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, all you got to do is click the link, follow us on X, come and have a conversation, and we'll talk back and forth. If you are watching the video version of this on YouTube, the comments are always open. Join us in the comments, share your opinions. Be cool or you're going to get blocked. I mean, I'm just going to leave that warning up there straight from the beginning. Don't be a jerk. Just be cool. And we'll all have a good time. We'll share our love for Universal, for theme parks as a whole. There will be talks of other brands, other parks, other things that are happening in the world, especially with the big ones that come up. But the center of this is going to be all Universal, and sharing our experiences, our tips and tricks, some of the things that you may not know about at the parks that are going to allow you to be able to experience some of those things with less wait times and some of the cooler events. So we'll save all that for future episodes. But if you like everything that I've said in the last few minutes, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the channel, depending on where you are. Stick around, hang out with us, and get engaged, because there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming your way. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.